Wilson's in the front end. Let's get to the back end. Hamsah Nasirildeen. He is, listen, I'm going to shout him out. He's from North Carolina. So, NC, stand up, take your shirt off, twist it around your head, wave it like a helicopter. But the reality for me is him at Florida State. He reminds me a lot of a long, stretched out Tyrann Mathieu, a guy that can do a lot of different things and is a heady football player.
Well, that's exactly right. He's an interesting chess piece that they like to move around. Here you see him, great disguise
Effort
on the blitz. On the blitz action, and then the effort to be relentless and keep fighting through the play. You see the athleticism too, though. You see the burst, and then watch the leap. He gets up in the air, gets knocked out, gets back up, but has a nose for the ball. And that's the one thing that jumps out about this kid is the ball finds him. But it's because he plays like this, where he plays through the whistle and keeps going to the end.
Yeah, I love the effort. Look, this is a play where he doesn't do everything the right way, but he does end up with the interception. You mentioned the ball finds him. Listen, you see the quarterback here. He's trying to sneak this ball in front of the defensive back that's played in the flat and behind the defensive back that's played in the flat, in front of Hamsah. And guess what? To make that throw, you got to take a little bit off of it. And because he takes something off of it and Hamsah is giving you max effort, he's able to go and steal this interception.
And I think, Michael, he's baiting him here. I think he knows that he's not threatened by this receiver on this over route. He knows he can close on the ball. He does a good job of triggering and getting the pick. And that's where we talk about ball skills, elite level. He can come down with the ball.
Yeah, the ball finds him. And listen, I'm going to go tip of the cap to – he's a kid that – I love kids that know rules. That is something that I always worked on, to know the rules of the game. And look at this. Out of bounds, back in bounds, reestablish 2 feet, let me catch this ball. I think it's a heady play, right?
It's a heady play, and it also tells me a guy that's thinking on his feet, in the heat of the battle. It's easy to make these plays in practice, but when everything's on the line, you got Trevor Lawrence, on the other side of the ball. Can you go make this big-time play? So it sort of speaks to the fact that this game's not too big for him. He's very comfortable. He stays in phase, and he makes a very timely interception. This is a guy that believes in himself, and as you talked about, stretched out. Let's try 6'4", 220. You don't see safeties that can look like that and have that type of length and range, but this is an athletic dude now, and it's the type of swagger that they want in that secondary of Florida State.
Yeah, and you mentioned swagger, right? And we got get that swagger back up above us too. Listen, Florida State, it wasn't just heady plays though. They used to be feared. People used to be scared of this team. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
Roscoe Parrish wide to the right. Here's the snap. 3-man rush, and Berlin gets the pass. Oh, what a hit! Incomplete pass. Roscoe Parrish is sawed in two. Stanford Samuels took no prisoners. What a hit! And Parrish has to take his helmet off and takes a knee. Boy, he was just hit violently.
Man, listen, we mentioned Stanford Samuels, the other one, the little one, number 8, who's playing there for Florida State right now. But this team used to be feared. And you're from Florida. You know that people used to be scared of this team. And I look at Florida State now, and I think Hamsah is going to be one of those guys that tries to rebuild that. I look at this hit on Trevor Lawrence, and I don't think it should have been called a penalty. I don't care, though. I honestly don't care that it's a penalty of aggression, because this team needs to get off their heels and get back on the balls of their feet.
It's a tempo setter type play. As my coach would say, always create a collision. We see it here, not only being from Florida, but growing up idolizing Deion Sanders when he was in Tallahassee. And so, yes, you need the swagger back, and this is what he brings. It's attitude, but it's also being not only the best athletes on the field, you got to be the best team. And that's where Coach Norvell has a big task ahead of him. Athletes don't win games, best teams do. That's what I want to see from the secondary, but this is a way of bringing that attitude back and setting some key plays.
Yeah, I love this one again. Look, we gave up a first down? No, guess what? We just really punished this guy, and he coughed that football up. Now we got to recover this fumble. So for me, that's what Hamsah is. Hamsah is the player, in my mind, that can be the catalyst to getting that swagger back. We talk about it with the U all the time, but the reality is Florida State's got that same issue. They just don't have a cute phrasing of it the way that Miami does.
Well, that's exactly right. But also, I think the fact that this guy is a playmaker, and really at the next level, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for guys that can make plays, regardless of the position. There he goes in, squares up, puts his hat on the ball to create a fumble. Now you're talking
How
about
hard
being
is that?
opportunistic. It's,
How hard is this
especially
to
when
come
you're playing
down
in space. Well,
Yeah,
you got
10 yards off the ball.
Yeah, and you got to trust your training, believe in what you've been taught. But look how he gets that shoulder pad right on the ball, keeps his head up, able to create a fumble. Exactly what you're taught to do. Playmaker making plays, but also shows you that he's very well coached. This is a kid that's got big upside, again, big physical, imposing safety, but also has great range over the top.